The following is a production of cprundown.com. The views and opinions expressed by the host of this podcast are those of the individual and not of any affiliated companies. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast covering the Cedar Fair Entertainment Company, the amusement industry, and the business of fun. Here are your hosts, Karsten Anderson, Evan Schultz, and Kyle Huth.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast where we cover Cedar Fair, Cedar Point, and everything to do with fun. All right, and we're back after like a 2-week hiatus.
Yep.
Back again, but lots of news finally.
We have lots of news, and we're going to pump out like 3 shows in the next week. So
yeah, we're going to have a few shows for sure. We're going to have a big, you're not going to want to miss this. If you're going to plan a trip to like Orlando or something, next week we're going to be recording a huge episode and having a bunch of guests on there to help Evan plan for Orlando, his first time ever in Orlando as an adult, and kind of giving him like what he should do, what he shouldn't do, things like that. So if you want to check that out, definitely
it'll be a ton of fun.
And then obviously we're going to have winter chill out updates too, because the next week after that is going to be winter chill out. So, you know.
Yeah. And then it'll be March and we'll be getting ready to probably like go to Carowinds or something. So
either that or getting ready for Kings Island's opening weekend too, you know.
Yeah, that'll be like a month away by the time we get through these next few weeks. So
that's exciting to think about. We're like starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We really are. And you know what's funny?
Kyle.
Yeah, well, we don't talk about him. You know what's funny is we're only really about from a number of days standpoint, we're only about halfway through the off season, but it just seems that once we hit this part of this off season, we're there immediately.
Yep. Once you get past those holidays and stuff, like you get around like 100 days or so until Cedar Point opens.
I always say winter chill out. Like winter chill out's the day where it's like, okay, we're going to be here again in no time.
I'm not going to lie though. Every time you go to winter chill out, you literally are like, at least for me, the time goes so slow.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it goes fast. So
anyway,
in that regard.
Speaking about winter chill out, Evan, you got a little update for us?
Yep. So we did manage to get tickets. So we're super excited. Karsten and I will be there on Saturday. So we'll be in like the first group of people that gets to go through for winter chill out. Yeah, I don't know what else to say except that I'm super excited and happy we got tickets and it's going to be a blast. And yeah,
it was extremely a lottery, I should say.
Yeah, we got lucky.
I don't play the lottery for a reason because I'm not good at like having good odds.
Yeah.
So,
but we were gifted. So
yes, definitely. But you know, so definitely look for a lot more content after that crazy Orlando planning vacation update that we're going to do. Yeah. So yeah,
I think at the end of the show, we'll go through a quick little like, okay, here's the next like 5 shows. Cause we pretty much have them written out for us already with how hectic things are about to be. But yeah, so winter chill out's coming up. And usually with winter chill out, there's a ton of announcements, but Cedar Point kind of dropped a weird little announcement on us.
Yeah. This is completely out of the blue.
Earlier last week.
Completely out of the blue.
It is called, I'm reading straight from the Cedar Point online shop, introducing Cedar Point's Midway Game Nite.
Ooh.
So I'm going to kind of read straight from the website, but basically what it is you buy the Midway Game Nite fun box and you'll receive a bunch of stuff, including a t-shirt for whichever attraction you choose, a mini Wild Mouse coaster cutout, which I want desperately. Feel free to send one. We don't have a P.O. box yet, but we're working on that.
Yeah.
Midway Concessions butter-flavored popcorn and a bottle of Knott's Berry Farm's famous boysenberry punch concentrate and a $10 gift card for Cedar Point. So that's super cool. And with that, you get access to this game show thing that happens. When you purchase it, it says which day you're choosing. Like if I choose Team Gatekeeper, my event will be on March 2nd. And you get this like code to log on to like, it reminds me of Kahoot, if you ever played Kahoot in like grade school. It's like a trivia
it's almost
thing.
Like I can't remember that game that you play on your TV, but you use your cell phone.
Jackbox.
Yes, it reminds me
Jackbox,
just of like
Kahoot.
Jackbox. Yeah.
So basically, it's going to be a bunch of trivia about not only Cedar Point, but I guess pop culture too. And it's just going to be you and a bunch of people playing remotely. You could have a team, and then like the winners can like move on to a second round. Like that's like I think you can win real money in. Don't quote me on that though.
I'm not sure about money. I think they said prizes.
Okay, well there we go. Prizes, money, whatever. So yeah, that's really interesting, really out of left field, but it sounds
I think it's cool. I think it's cool
and
because like
how much
they
is
were
it? $50?
it's $50. And we were
You
having
get a
the
ton
debate.
of stuff for $50.
Yeah, so you get a cool like whatever team that you pick. So like if you pick Maverick, you can pick from either Maverick, Rougarou. You can also pick from Raptor or Gatekeeper. It looks like, and I believe those like so you get 4 weeks. You get to pick from, and each week like it's like the team names. So whatever week that you pick. So say I picked I don't know Maverick for instance, I would get a Team Maverick T-shirt. It's cool on the side. It actually says like Cedar Point's Midway Game Nite on the side sleeve, which is really cool. Obviously, you get the
Honestly, the logo on the front of the shirt is super cool too.
Yeah. So you get the Wild Mouse mini coaster cutout. And it's really teeny tiny. It's probably like maybe 15, 20 pieces. It's not like one of the big cutouts. And then you also get, you get the buttered popcorn and then the punch concentrate from Knott's Berry Farm. And also the $10 gift card from Cedar Point. That's, I mean, like if you think about it, yeah, it's $50.
So now it's $40.
Then it's $40. But then you also bought a T-shirt, which is like $20 to $25.
And that cutout's probably 10. Yeah. I mean, they're giving you. And
they're
you're
giving
gonna have
you
a
a
fun
lot.
time playing Cedar Point trivia.
Yeah, they're giving you a lot. So it's,
And let's be honest, if you listen to
excited.
this podcast, you're pretty good at Cedar Point trivia. So
Right.
you should go ahead and do this.
At least you should. I don't know
Yeah.
about Kyle anymore since he moved to Florida. He might forget some things.
Kyle, are you still here?
Yeah, I think I could hold my own.
I feel like you can. Well, and there's pop culture too, so that the complete dork of dorks aren't going to always win.
Right.
Are either of you
right.
planning on doing this?
I'm
I know
planning to-
Carson is.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
If I could figure out a day that I know I'll be free to do it. So it's March 2nd, March 9th, March 6th. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Those are when the sale days end. It's March 23rd, March 30th, April 6th, and April 13th.
All on
I think
Thursdays.
those are all Thursdays, yeah.
Yeah.
If I could figure out a day that I'm like for sure free.
And it's cool. It's cool because Tony Clark also makes an appearance. Like they have like video. It sounds like they're gonna have some video questions and stuff that he's gonna be able to ask. So it's really cool. I'm excited about it. I think it'll be cool.
It'll be fun. Yeah, I'm excited.
I'll let you know
about
how.
it.
I don't know which day or what I'm gonna choose yet.
Well, so the first one is March 23rd, but then the last one, the last day to buy is also March 23rd. So maybe like in between when it ends on March 23rd, we'll be able to hear if it's worth it and be able to sign up for that last one.
Yeah. I think I'm definitely going to sign up either way. I love kind of trivia stuff like that. Plus Cedar Point.
I think I could swing $50.
And it's also
at
really
least after
good.
I get back from Orlando.
Right. And also, I mean, it's a good, like they brought this out because it's off season. So everyone's bored. So they're probably trying it out to see, putting feelers out to see what it's going on. And if it does well, maybe it'll come to other Cedar Fair parks.
I was going to say, I could see like Kings Island because they're very in touch with their history.
That and also their fan base too.
Yeah. Kings Dominion too, because they have a 50th coming up soon. California's Great America should do it just for kicks and giggles. But
yeah, and we'll have one of those we'll have a Knott's Berry Farm punch concentrate party over at my house, and we'll have
maybe just put some Sprite in it or put some adult beverages in it. I've never tried the Knott's Boysenberry Punch.
I know from experience the concentrate bottle they're going to give you makes about 4 quarts of Knott's Berry Farm Punch because you got like the 2-quart pitcher.
Have you had it?
Oh yeah. I get it shipped. I buy them in batches. I get them shipped from Knott's Berry Farm. I'll buy like 5 or 6 at a time and then just keep them in my pantry. Once you open them, they have to stay refrigerated, but if they're not open, they can stay warm.
Question.
Is
it good?
Oh, it's really good.
It's
the
good?
same. Yeah, it's the same stuff you get in the park.
Do you have it in stock currently?
Yes.
So can I try it when I'm in Orlando? Yes. I now have a thing that I'm most excited for Orlando.
Perfect. We're gonna have it for our birthday celebrations.
There you go.
Our Orlando like wrap up show will just be me like raving about Boysenberry Punch from Knott's Berry Farm in California.
Guys, it's really, really good.
No, that's Justin.
So
exciting.
So
I am super excited because I've always wanted to try that, but I know it's like kind of expensive to get shipped here. So thank you, Kyle, for taking one for the team. I'll pay you back.
Absolutely. But anyway, keeping the train moving because since it's Super Bowl here in a few hours.
Yeah, we're really flying, but I feel like the last topic will take.
That's all right. That's all right.
I mean,
the last topic
also,
we're going to spend a lot on. But anyway,
yeah,
so
we're
speaking
also
of crazy
flying, but
announcements that came out of nowhere, Kyle, what's this all about the Esports Facility? You got more info on that?
Yeah, so a couple years ago, Cedar Fair built the Cedar Point Sports Center, the off-site sporting facility that has, indoor courts, outdoor courts, rock climbing walls, everything. I've been over there a couple of times, and I know you two probably drive by it every time you go to the park.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have announced a 1,000 square foot esports facility. So for those of you who aren't familiar, esports has taken off in the past couple of years as our society is starting to recognize gaming as a more competitive, not physical sport, but kind of mental hand-eye coordination sport. So the press release here says, the first phase of what will be known as the Cedar Point Esports Center will be a 1,000 square foot space that will house state-of-the-art, full-service gaming area with the capability to broadcast and produce live streams and content. Centralized within the venue will be 32 competitive gaming setups against the backdrop of multimedia video displays that have the flexibility to connect for larger events. Top-tier professional gaming stations and equipment will be utilized throughout the first phase for practice, competition, and extracurricular play. So this is really cool. I know a lot of high schools and colleges are starting to get more into this esports thing. So essentially what it is, because I looked into it one time, it's a bunch of these high-end gaming PCs. And you have a team that, the way it worked at my school, Bowling Green State University, was every semester the esports team would settle on a game they wanted to play. Be it, Fortnite, whatever, like any of those.
Madden.
Yeah, Madden was one of them, just
Madden's
any popular game. And they would practice and compete against other schools for cash prizes and stuff like that. So this is just kind of another egg in the basket for what the sports facility will offer. I think it's really cool. I'm wondering how much this is going to cost because, I don't know. Have either of you built a computer before?
No.
Okay.
Not really, no.
So
I know it's expensive.
Yeah. So I have both. I've built some for editing purposes and some for gaming purposes. The one I have next to me right now, which you guys can't see, is what I would consider a middle of the line setup. Has a good CPU, pretty good graphics card, all-in-one cooling. That ran me all in all probably about $1,400 to $1,600, and that is not what I would consider a high-end setup. And they're committing to building 32 high-end setups.
I wonder if didn't they say there's a company that's kind of with them in cahoots? Maybe they're bringing in a PC. Maybe I read that.
Yeah, farther down it says, esports is the competitive side of the rapidly growing electronic gaming industry. Global revenue from competitive gaming was estimated to nearly $1.4 billion last year, with double-digit growth year over year and an estimated audience of more than 500 million people worldwide. I'm trying to read. I don't really see anything in the press release that says they're doing this with another company.
Yeah, I thought there was something on there, but maybe I'm thinking something else.
Going back to the talk about your setup though, Kyle. I mean, what I'm recording on is what is considered just a high-end, off-the-shelf gaming laptop, and this was $1,500. But this is just a laptop, and I know that these are considered when you can compare them to a PC, these are bottom of the list.
I'm not huge into the gaming side of things, but I've been a techie all my life, so generally speaking, gaming laptops and gaming PCs are two different breeds.
Yeah.
A high-end gaming laptop kind of converts more to like a middle-of-the-line gaming PC.
Okay.
Just because,
and I'm not using it for like heavy duty stuff. I'm using it for Planet Coaster. Yeah.
Yeah. I also did find I found in the press release that it's going to be North Coast Entertainment, NCE, is developing and will run the facility.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that they're the one that's going to like have the PCs and kind of convert and put PCs where that's going to be, possibly. I'm not sure.
So this is going to be kind of the same. Well, first off, one question: is this a new building, or are they adding this on to the current like arena they have?
I was just say the pictures. It looks like it's going to be somewhere inside of the actual building that's already built.
I don't believe this is going to be a whole new addition to the building, but rather a retrofit of existing area.
Okay.
But it does say phase 1, so I'm thinking maybe phase 2 might be if it's big enough.
Phase 2 might be like
where they build
people that go and watch this stuff. It's going to be like an arena to like go watch it, and like
because I remember before the pandemic they were kind of talking a little bit about it, and then I was like, oh, and then the pandemic happened, and then there was no talk about it, and
which
I was
is
like,
when you would think esports would really take off.
Well, another thing too is right around the pandemic, and we're still not out of this yet, but there is a national GPU shortage, graphics processing unit, which is pretty much what makes the gaming PC a gaming PC. So when I built my most recent setup, I built it in 2019 in the fall before that happened. And I got my graphics card for MSRP, which at the time was just shy of $500. And that's not even like a top of the line graphics card. And once the shortage happened, mine was selling for almost $1,500.
Oh my God.
Well, that, and also plus everyone was trying to mine for Bitcoin and all that stuff, and so it's jacking up the price even more, and then everything will be all sold out. So yeah, it was crazy because I think I built Kyle and I built my PC like right before the pandemic, because I was looking, because I had an issue with an Ethernet cable the other day, and I looked up all the stuff that I bought, and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I bought it in March and February of 2019. So but yeah, so I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be exciting. I know that right now, like, you were talking about the facilities, over there, the Sports Force Park, like they've got volleyball tournaments and basketball tournaments and things like that that are inside. So, and
they're just rolling in the cash. It seems like they're constantly bringing things in. I was actually out in Sandusky. Was it last weekend? Yeah, it was last weekend. And I happened to drive by the sports park,
and it's busy. The parking lot's full.
The parking lot was full, and I could see on like the big screen they have outside that they had a volleyball tournament going on. It's like, oh my God! And it's February 6th or whatever it was.
Not even that, Evan. If you go over by Cedar Point Express Hotel, that's all sold out as well, or maybe not all sold out, but that's being rented out or booked out or whatever.
Do they use Express during this time of year?
Yeah.
Yeah. We walked into Sawmill Creek too for the first time since its renovation, and Castaway Bay. Castaway Bay was packed, and Sawmill Creek, it wasn't very busy, but there were people staying there.
But I mean, if you've got a family of kids and they're competing in all these sports and everything, I mean, honestly,
I think what we're seeing is the park really focusing on off-season revenue, and they're doing a great job of it.
Yeah, because I mean, you can go golfing, when it gets nicer out or whatever at Sawmill.
Golf today, if I were a golfer,
right? Or like you can kill two birds with one stone. What you could do is you could do the sport event or whatever, with your family and stuff, and then afterwards you could have a room at Castaway Bay and then go to the water park and have fun with the kids. It's kind of a win-win.
I think
it's great.
They could really turn this into, if they did it right, of picking those times during the year where the park is historically not busy, and bringing in tournaments to make it a little bit busier and to generate more revenue. That's actually happening in my hometown. Well, not my hometown, but where I live right now. Today, actually. Over at Disney, they have the ESPN Worldwide Sports Complex. And this is what's considered the off-season at Disney. It's not super busy. they're hosting the national cheer competition right now, and the parks are slammed.
Jeez.
See, yeah,
Yeah, and otherwise they would be empty. If it wasn't
Otherwise, it'd be
even great
empty,
weather.
and Sandusky and everything else would be a ghost town. So
Yeah.
it's definitely changed from the past 10 years, like 5 years even. It's crazy.
And I think this off-season revenue is really it's almost like free cash for the parks, and I think that's what's really leading to
especially
new attractions coming to the actual parks.
Well,
because it doesn't cost anything to run these comparatively.
I was gonna say, yeah, especially if they're like, having these partners partner with them, and they can kind of run it, and Cedar Point doesn't have to really try to worry about hiring
employees and
training, and that Cedar Point can kind of worry about Cedar Point, but then Cedar Point
said, it's basically free cash to build a new coaster, like Dorney Park might be.
Oh,
I had to force that one.
Speaking of forcing that one,
I think we're pretty much done with that topic anyway. Let's just roll on.
I think Kyle's done talking about esports. So Evan, what's going on at Dorney Park?
So I think we're kind of late to this news, but whatever, it's fine.
And we're gonna talk.
I'm not sure when this kind of started, but within the last 2 or 3 weeks,
I'll say the beginning of February.
Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. It basically came out that, and it's kind of looks sketchy, might look a little fake. It was basically like Dorney Park proposing new coaster for 2024. There wasn't any blueprints yet, but they've been rumored to get a coaster just about every year since Stinger left. So it makes sense. And then within a couple days, actual site blueprints came out that shows the station for the proposed attraction and the footers for the attraction. So clearly it's a roller coaster. And being that the internet is crazy, and I'm not going to say they don't have a life, but somebody was able to take the blueprints for these footers and piece together a roller coaster. And basically, and the person I'm referring to, so they get proper credit, is INTIM305 on YouTube. He pieced together a no limits recreation of using these footers of a smaller dive coaster that will kind of take up the area right where Stinger was, and kind of, I guess, behind Possessed, kind of in that weird area between where Possessed is and where the Lake Erie Eagles clone, whatever it's called.
I was going to say that's
Cedar Creek Flyers, I think it is at Dorney.
That's a big plot of land over there that's not even used.
Yeah. And so it's not going to be a giant coaster. The proposed attraction, that the city got, it's supposed to be a 100. The plan proposes to construct a new 161.67 foot tall attraction just north of the intersection of Lincoln Avenue and Dorney Park Road on a 2.7 acre portion of the 196 acre parcel. So, this person, B&M's been coming out with a lot of smaller dive coasters lately anyways. Emperor in San Diego just opened earlier this year, and this looks very similar to that. It's an Immelman. It's got an incline loop, a 0G roll, and a couple bunny hills and a helix. And man, if this is what Dorney Park is getting, it so suits them. It looks perfect.
I agree 100%. And also, there is a planning commission meeting over in the Whitehall Township, or South Whitehall Township, talking about the proposed what we just talked about on February 16th. So
that'll be what gives them final approval, I assume.
I would assume, or it'll give you the next step in improving stages. But I mean, if it's going to be, it's
2024. It's been said multiple times on multiple documents that this is for a 2024 attraction.
Which would make sense though, because there was right before the pandemic, they were talking about how they were going to build a coaster, and then they kind of put water on the idea. Obviously, when the pandemic happened,
wasn't that supposed to be more of kind of like what Worlds of Fun is getting? That Zambezi Zinger, more like a wooden coaster, twisty. I think it was supposed to be more like that, but I love the direction they're going.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with the dive coaster, because if you look at the blueprints, the station you could really clearly see on there, the new station, and it's you could see a transfer area that's kind of small, You can see the station looks like it only fit about 3 or 4 rows. So everything kind of lines up for this to be a dive coaster.
And if someone is faking this document, props to
them. They
them,
did a really good job.
That's pretty good. I mean, like, you can see like the whole layout of like the park,
like
the whole
queue line.
The queue line. You can see where the footers are going to be, where the road's at, where the midway's at, how many feet is whatever of whatever. Like, I mean, it's very
it doesn't look fake. It's got to be real.
Well, I guess we'll find out on the 16th, which is a few days away from now. So
yeah, really. And the person that this in Tim 305 on YouTube, the person that made the rendering, he made it like kind of the Stinger colors, and I'm praying that that's what actually happens, because it really pops, that like teal and purple.
Yeah. That'll be another.
Dorney's really kind of maybe not known, but they do have 2 smaller-ish B&Ms already, so this would really fit with their ride lineup.
Oh yeah,
Talon and Hydra.
Yeah,
I'm super excited for that. I'm not gonna like go running out there for media day or opening day for it, but on a trip to Hershey, it makes Dorney seem that much more like worth it to go, to drive a couple hours out of the way. And I like Dorney because they have Demon Drop. So
no, I agree. Yeah, Demon Drop is definitely a fun staple. So.
And it's a really good sign for the smaller parks. You know, we see Zambezi Zinger, Worlds of Fun. Now we're seeing this Stinger 2.0 at Dorney. Even Michigan's Adventure is expanding their season. It seems really likely that these smaller parks are going to start getting a couple more marquee attractions, hopefully.
Yeah, I would think so.
If I'm Valley Fair, I'm like, all right, guys, where's my turn?
Well, I know that a lot the Cedar Fair has been getting hit a lot on, like, you know, the vlog sites and fan sites, whatever, saying, you know, they only focus on Kings Island and Knott's Berry Farm, you know, kind of the bigger, you know, Kings Dominion, or not really Kings Dominion, but Carowinds, and you know, the people have been saying, you know, when's the coaster coming to ours? You know, so it's good to see. It's good to see that they're having, you know, the possibility of adding a brand new coaster, not even just like a you know, from California's Adventure, you know, or California Great Adventure. Like, it's not, you know, it's not something that's coming from there, you know. So I think
it is. That was when I think when the thing that came out that just said this is going to be a 161-foot tall attraction for Dorney, I think everybody who's paying attention went straight to the California's Great America Ride page and it's like, okay, what is 161 feet?
Right.
Because we just kind of assume that Dorney's going to get hand-me-downs at this point, but it doesn't look like it, at least for this.
Yeah.
Maybe their next coaster will be a hand-me-down, but it'll be nice to see a brand new build for them.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because that's been since Possessed, right?
Possessed came from Joggle Lake.
I mean, yes.
Their last brand new build was Hydra in 05.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense though. You know, for it.
They really focused on the water park a few years there. I know. And that the water park does bring in a ton of money for them, but yeah, it's really exciting. It's really exciting for them. And hopefully it spells good news for Valley Fair, Michigan's Adventure. We know the world's really ending if Michigan's Adventure gets a new ground up coaster.
Right. Brand new. I could see them possibly doing that.
We'll see it. Maybe a smaller ride.
Yeah.
Not a B&M coaster like Dorney's getting, but
not to jump off topic just a little bit, but supposedly there was a Valley Fair freeze up that is almost like a winter chill out kind of thing, I guess you could say, that they had at the park, and their GM and maintenance teams kind of talked a little bit about kind of like where Cedar Fair is going a little, and they said that like the park infrastructure needs, for at least for Valley Fair, they said that the park infrastructure needs to improve to handle bigger crowds, to have a bigger major thrill ride. So that'll be interesting to see within the next coming years, to see if they start doing something like that.
If we start seeing like, oh, Valley Fair's creating a new water retention system.
Right. And or maybe like a bigger gate or widening their midways or something, they also they talked about how a Great America, and that they have a long-term plans on relocating certain rides from California's Great America. So that's interesting that they're already talking about relocating rides there, since they said, what was it, 10 years that they gave the park a maximum life. So
yeah.
I mean, now we're in another year, so it'd be 9 years. So they haven't confirmed what rides will be moving and stuff, so that's interesting.
Well, I think, didn't the GM of Valley Fair also say that he's not even sure what rides are moving?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
he just knows that some will, and they might get some, they might not, and we'll see.
Yeah, so those are the kind of the big things that I read that came out of there. But that's interesting to watch and see. So
I think after reading that, I did see some like comments and stuff on Twitter and Facebook and what have you that pointed out, and I can't remember now because it's been a couple weeks, pointed out specific examples of them already kind of working on infrastructure. Like, I don't take my word for it that this is exactly what it was, but maybe a bathroom's been redone, a few new restaurants, stuff like that. So it seems like they're already been kind of, if this is true, I don't pay very close attention to Valley Fair, admittedly, but if this is if this is true, maybe that's cluing us in that they're kind of already working on that, and maybe this is closer in the works than we think.
It'll be interesting.
So, really excited for Valley Fair, really excited for Dorney, really excited for Worlds of Fun this year, 50th anniversaries, and
Cedar Point in 2024 with the reimagined of Top Thrill Dragster. That'll be fun,
Yes. And this year, I think the boardwalk's going to be a ton of fun.
Oh my gosh,
look really good.
We were talking like we can't, like when we get to see like the actual orange and yellow track like on the Midway,
it really pops.
It's gonna pop. You can see it on the webcam on a beautiful blue day. It just bing.
It's gonna be a really festive area. I'm sure there's gonna be really good food, like festivals and stuff that they cater to that area.
Yeah. It'd be really cool. I was thinking a little bit. I was like, it'd be really cool if they brought like little tiny food shops, and they're permanent. They're not like just whatever, but they're little tiny
like
food
roller
shops.
coaster tycoon style.
Right. To where they kind of, show off the quote unquote boardwalk and have it feel like a boardwalky feel. So that'll be interesting to see what they do. So
it's really nice to see post pandemic, not only Cedar Fair, but especially the SeaWorld parks and Busch Gardens parks, like just new ride after new ride. I mean, this is the most new coasters coming up here in 2023 than we've seen since before the pandemic. So it's really nice to see that this industry's back to where it should be.
And then next podcast, obviously with the Orlando thing that we're going to do, we're going to talk about Cedar Fair's quarter results.
Yeah,
and
we'll touch on that at the beginning
and see what's going on with that and everything, and see if Kyle's saved the universe a few times.
Probably.
How many times a week do you ride Guardians?
About 3 usually.
Unfair.
Gotta save the universe every single time. Single day. You gotta think your day. I got it down
pretty well, where I can park, go in, ride the ride, and be back out to my car in under 45 minutes.
And then have dinner.
That's your lunch break.
And then have dinner at with Dean and Abby and just hang out.
That's so awesome. Do we want to, because I think we're kind of out of things to talk about, do we just kind of quickly look ahead to our next few episodes?
Sure.
Yeah, Evan, feel free.
I know Thursday we're not going to do it live, but we are going to be recording the big Orlando look ahead extravaganza. We're going to have a bunch of guests, and it's going to basically be me and my girlfriend shooting questions at you Orlando experts about Universal, about SeaWorld, and about Busch Gardens Tampa, because that's the 3 main parks we're doing. We're also doing both Fun Spot parks, hopefully. More on that. And then hopefully the day or two after we get back, we're going to do an Orlando wrap-up, where I'm just going to come on here and just fangirl about Velocicoaster.
We're just going to turn your microphone on and turn the lights off and just let you talk.
Let me just talk.
For an hour.
Kind of like when I got back from Poland. It's going to be, oh my God, Velocicoaster. Oh my God, Butterbeer. Oh my God, Iron Gwazi. Oh my
I cannot
God,
wait for you to ride Velocicoaster and to see if it turns Steel Vengeance into number 2 on my list compared to Velocicoaster's number 1 on mine. Like fully.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, and you know that I'm such a huge fan of wooden coasters anyway. So like, I already juggle with Vengeance being like a step below Voyage.
Yeah.
So basically, point
Yeah.
being, it's not out of the realm of possibility for Vengeance to be dethroned. Not that Velocicoaster's a wooden coaster, but
Oh, Velocicoaster
And I
is so
really-
stinking good.
I think I'm gonna really like Iron Gwazi too because it seems similar to Zadra, and I really liked Zadra. It didn't beat Vengeance, but I did really like
It just-
Zadra.
It was good. It just felt like it just needed, like, for me, it just felt like I needed more,
More out of it.
So
But yeah, we'll see. So then, yeah, we'll have our wrap-up show, and then Winter Chill-Out's the following weekend, so we'll have a show all about that. And then, like we said, it's going to be March, so we'll be kind of maybe we'll be making some trips to open amusement parks, and we'll have some stuff to talk about there.
if not, we can always count on Kyle because he's got open amusement parks down there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And we'll have more announcements, I'm sure, between now and then.
Oh yeah, the Winter Chill Out announcements, I'm sure from
Yes.
Tony will be in a
So,
plethora of them.
I always
Because we
get
need to find
excited
out
to-
what's going to be in the Grand Pavilion. Like, we need to find out
Yes.
what kind of food's going to be served. We need to find, so.
As we know that my actual main topic on this show is talking about food, so
Yeah.
I'm very excited to find
Mr.
out
Food
about
Man.
that. Yeah. Yeah, it's super exciting. A lot of fun stuff coming up.
Well, I think that's probably going to wrap it up, unless, Kyle, you have anything.
Nothing on my end.
You doing anything tonight? Any parks tonight?
Nope. I no parks today. We did Universal last night for Mardi
SeaWorld.
Gras.
They
and-
have Mardi Gras.
Yeah. But
There you go.
yeah, nothing tonight.
Oh, yeah, you got to do, real quick, you got to do the Mardi Gras float, huh?
Oh yeah. I did that last week.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I
It's
forgot
been a
about
short
that.
show. Let's
Yeah.
talk about that.
So at Universal's Mardi Gras, they have a big parade every year, and they have these giant floats. Some are like 40 feet tall. They're huge, and
Okay.
they let pass holders ride on the float. They also do this thing called like the Ride and Dine package, where you can buy a ticket and then like eat at one of the nice restaurants at City Walk and then ride on the float. But anyway, they let pass holders and people who buy that ride on the float and throw out Mardi Gras beads to the crowd.
Ooh.
And then you have to sign up if you're a pass holder like months in advance. Like I signed up to do mine on April 7th.
Wow.
And all the slots are full this year. When you agree to ride the float, you have to check in at the park that day at like 1:00. And then if you don't check in, then they give your spot
lose
to
your
somebody
spot.
else. Yeah. They take those spots of people who either didn't check in or canceled completely or whatever, and they put them back in a virtual queue. So like Evan, if you're in the park next week, you could try at 3:00 to get a spot on the float to throw beads.
That's cool.
So that's what I did. I was in the park, and I wanted to try, so I did, and I got a spot. So I rode on the Gator float, which is the 12th and final float in the parade.
That one's massive, too, because I've seen pictures of it.
Yeah, it has
It's like-
2 stories to it. It's huge, and
I'd
it's
say
long.
if anybody's like when listening, I would probably say 5 Cedar Point floats combined into one,
Jesus.
like for the parade.
Yeah, it's massive.
It's a huge gator.
Just to tell you how many people fit on it, the Gator float can accommodate up to 55 people throwing beads.
Christ.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
that was,
basically, it's a bus.
yeah, that was pretty cool because we got to go and put our costumes on and then go backstage and get loaded up and then ride out, do the parade, go back. So all in all, it
You
was
said
like
they fed you too?
they didn't feed us. No.
Oh.
You can buy, so they do a thing called like float riding dining experience where you can
Okay.
buy this like $80 ticket and you get dinner at it's like Cowfish, Antojitos, or Vivo. You can pick any of those restaurants and you get like a 3-course meal and then you get to go in the park and ride the float.
Okay, so that's okay.
But if you just want to ride it and you're a pass
Good
holder and you
deal,
get
low-key.
luck of the draw, it's free.
Okay.
Also on top of a park admission too. we
Yeah,
wanna-
yeah, on top
sure.
of park admission. But yeah, it was like a hour and 45-minute experience when all was said and done. It was really fun.
Was that your first time ever doing it?
That was not. No, I've done it before.
I say I've done it a few times, but I was on like a little teeny tiny P float, but I've done it twice so far, but it is so much fun. Like seeing all the people out there, like, give me your beads, give me your beads.
Yeah, it's really
and they're
fun.
like, ah,
I had a
and you're
pretty
just
good
chucking them.
I had a pretty good system going with the guy next to me, because the guy next to me would like pick out a kid or a person or something. He's like, all right, these ones are coming to you. And then 9 out of 10 times he'd miss completely. So then I would point at the same person and then I'd throw them and then they'd grab them.
So then you played hero, just
Yeah.
like you saved the galaxy every day. You played hero.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Mardi Gras is awesome. It's one of the best events.
Well, I love all the crazy food you can get, like crawfish and like shrimp jambalaya, all kinds
So
of
if you
stuff.
if you
Well,
think
you know
about
it's
it,
like way better than average too.
yeah, if you
Mhm.
think about it, it's like the Cedar Point Frontier Festival essentially, but it takes place throughout the entire park, where you can go up
New Orleans.
and each booth specializes in some kind of different like New Orleans Cajun food. You can buy the little sample, or you can get like a tasting card and do that. Good drinks. Most nights of Mardi Gras, well, not most nights, but on the weekends they have free concerts of some pretty big names. There's not a like outright headliner this year, but I've
seen Flow Rider.
Yeah, I saw Flo Rida one year too. I saw the Beach Boys one year.
Shawn Mendes, right?
Yeah, he was there one year.
He's been there a few times.
And
And
they're
that's
free,
all.
the concert?
Yeah, that's all included with park admission.
Nice.
They have like the streetmosphere, like jazz bands and people dressed in costumes.
Well, last night was Goo Goo Dolls.
Last night was the Goo Goo Dolls, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't see the concert last night. It was Ray's first time doing Universal, not during horror nights.
Okay.
So she had never been to Islands. So we started out the night at Islands, and we walked around and did a couple things, and then we did Ollivanders. And Carson, you know Ollivanders. Normally, you're in a room with like 40 people.
Mm-hmm.
We were the only 2 people in the room.
Wow.
Yeah, so the wand picked her, and we ended up buying it and everything. So
There you go.
We did a lot of the Harry Potter stuff, and then we did like Spider-Man and stuff like that. And then we went back to the other park for the parade, and then after the parade, we went to Diagon Alley, and we didn't do. She'd been on Gringotts. We didn't do Gringotts, but we did some more like the wand magic stuff. And
Okay.
then we jumped on the Hogwarts Express and took that back over to Hogsmeade. And then we did Hagrid's and that Defense Against the Dark Arts like projection show on the castle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so cool. That's
yes,
a cool night show.
It is. So I didn't focus like too much on Mardi Gras last night, but I did see the parade, and I tried some food, and I tried the or like I saw all the atmospheric entertainment and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Nice.
I'm glad
Good
I'll be there
stuff.
during that. I don't think we're going to pay too much attention to the parade necessarily, because we have a lot of stuff we want to
Well,
ride.
the good thing
but-
about the parade is you can just walk up 5 minutes before it starts, watch it for the 15 minutes or whatever, and then just go on your way.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And get beads hucked at us.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true. I remember doing that at Grand Carnival when they were still doing that at Cedar Fair Parks.
I think
I
that's
think they
coming
did it
back. I heard that that's coming back this year at
Okay, good. But yeah, I remember
Kings
I was
Island
King's
and
Dominion. I
possibly
specifically remember just
other
like
parks.
we happened to walk up when it was starting, and we were like, "I want beads."
right. Yeah. Good stuff. So,
Fun stuff.
all right,
right.
guys. Well, I think we're gonna
All
wrap
right.
this up here.
Yep. Roll the music.
What do you guys have for the Super Bowl, huh?
Chiefs 30, Eagles 23.
I'm only in it to watch Rihanna's halftime show.
I'm gonna say Philadelphia and 27-23.
All right.
Guess we'll see. But we'll talk to you guys next week on our awesome, crazy Planning Orlando episode.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
definitely tune in the next couple weeks. We got some awesome shows coming up. But that's about it for tonight. So we are going to let Justin take it away.
Thank you for listening to the Rundown on Fun. Be sure to follow us on social media to stay up to date on all things Cedar Fair. As always, be kind to your ride operators, and we will see you on the Midway. Good night.